content strategy is so much more than just swiping one of those done-for-you content calendars off of Facebook or Instagram ads. In fact, it's so much more than that, and that's what we're going to break down in this video. Now, my definition of a content strategy is pretty simple. It's the intentional creation of content that speaks to the pain or pleasure points of someone in my community and helps to take them to the next step, which is a solution for their problem, which is going to be a product, service, or free offer that I have in my business to bring them down deeper into the community, to bring them from audience member to community member. For example, one of the most popular YouTube videos on this channel every single year is a video that I do all about Pinterest marketing strategies. It's the webinar style masterclass video that I put on here. I break down all of the essentials of a Pinterest strategy for the year, and then at the end is a very low threat invitation to my membership, the Academy. Now, that is done so well, and it explains all the aspects of a Pinterest strategy that someone needs to understand in order to get the best results, that people feel inclined to at least check out the sales page, which then gets them into other avenues of my business. We're not going to get into those today. Now, that video is just one part of one of my content pillars in my business. Now, I also want to address what content pillars are as they relate to content strategy. Content pillars are not your content strategy. They are a piece of your content strategy. Now, the Pinterest marketing, what I would tell my friends, masterclass style video does cover one of the biggest pillars in my business, which is organic Pinterest strategy. Probably 80% of everyone that comes into my business are looking to learn organic Pinterest marketing. Not paid, not automation, not workflows, organic Pinterest marketing. At least that's what they think they need once they get here. Now, let's talk about what content pillars are as they relate to content strategy and how you are differentiating those from something even a little bit deeper, which are the pain points within your business. So pain points are something like lack of strategy, doesn't understand SEO, can't make pins that convert, doesn't know how to create a workflow to stay consistent on Pinterest. I pin on Pinterest, but I can never stay consistent. Or I make pins on Pinterest, but they never get clicks. So how do I make pins that people will click on? Those are pain points. Now, those can lead to pieces of content, which we're going to get to in a second, but they are also a part of content pillars. So the content strategy is the overall thought and like the strategy of what's going on. The content pillars are underneath the strategy, and the pain points fit in to the content pillars. So the content pillars are something like organic Pinterest marketing, paid Pinterest marketing, automation, graphic design, and workflows. Oftentimes, I also do tool reviews or other marketing type videos, and those are other pillars within the business. But the 5 main pillars I have in my business are those that I just mentioned. Here's where it gets fun, because most people want to actually create the content, or they do create content, and it doesn't actually do anything for them. So as you begin to think about what your content strategy should be, I want you to start thinking about how you're going to connect the people consuming the content to your offers. A lot of people actually do this in reverse, where they start at the beginning and then go to the end. By the time they get to the end, they don't actually have an end in mind. I always start at the end. Where do I want people to go? And then I work my way in reverse to where we need to start from there. So if someone comes to me and they say something like, I don't know how to schedule my pins on Pinterest, I just post them and I accidentally posted too many in one day and I got marked as spam. So on this slide, you can actually see the different pieces of content I've created, as well as the pain points off to the side for each. So as you begin to develop that content strategy, you're going to want to begin to develop content topics based on those pain points and pleasure points that are then going to lead people to your free and paid offers to get them into your funnels. So some examples in my business are how to use Tailwind to schedule your Pinterest pins. One of the pain points is scheduling. They don't know how to use a scheduler, or they don't have a scheduler, or they can't seem to find time to pin on Pinterest. So the answer would be to create a scheduling system for themselves. That's where the Tailwind video comes in. The next example is the 4 steps to create an effective workflow that takes less time. The pain point for that one is workflows, and the product for that is my Pinterest system. Another example is how to use ChatGPT for Pinterest. A lot of people don't understand how to write pin copy, so one of their pain points is writing pin descriptions. They loathe it. They also don't understand Pinterest SEO, which is another topic on this slide. So I teach them how to use Pinterest SEO in the SEO video. Then in the ChatGPT for Pinterest video, I teach them how to write pin copy using ChatGPT prompts. So all of these pieces of content have a place in my business, and they are evergreen, meaning I can post them once, keep them updated throughout the time that they're live. As I create new offers or new videos, I can update them. But they are working in the background for me, and they are helping people to find me in their moments of need. Not in my moment of need, in their moments of need. This is where the power of content strategy really comes into play. Which leads us right down the rabbit hole to connecting your offers to your content. A lot of people do this really poorly, or they don't do it at all, in fact. And it's really frustrating when I land on a student or a client's piece of content and it's not optimized at all for a customer journey. Someone might get so excited and they find your pin on Pinterest about 4 effective ways to create a Pinterest strategy. Then once they land there, they have a whole product on creating a Pinterest system, but it's not mentioned in the stupid blog post at all. How frustrating is that? How frustrating would it be to see your dream couch on a Pinterest pin, and then that couch isn't linked in the blog post? Sometimes we get so busy as content creators, we actually just forget to do that part, building the bridge to the offers. But that's where I want to highlight that for you so you don't also make those mistakes. So what we want to do is we want to connect our content to our offers. What does your audience need to know to take the next step with a product or service or free offer in your business? I do this specifically by showing people how to do things, but leaving out the strategy. So in that Tailwind tutorial, for example, I show them how to schedule their Pinterest pins, but I don't give them the strategy or my thought process behind scheduling on Pinterest. This opens up a flood of questions in my comment, which helps the video to go further on YouTube and get more community engagement, which helps the algorithm push the video. It also shows the viewer that I know what I'm talking about by teaching them how to use the tool in its current form. And then it encourages them to either sign up for the tool or start using the tool again if they used it in the past. That also encourages them to visit my blog posts or go further down my rabbit hole, which could be my automation guide, which I give away for free. So you can see here where we're connecting our offers to the content. Now, another example of this is the Pinterest marketing strategy, what I would tell my friends video, that big masterclass video I do every year on YouTube. That video has that low-key invitation at the end, inviting people to the academy, but I also mention in that video that I have free strategy guide. People will naturally go to the description, they'll find the guide, they'll download it, and then they're presented with what's in the video in PDF format, and then they start getting emails from me. So I'm connecting the dots between the content and the next step. So each week when I sit down to create content like what I'm doing right now, I think to myself, what does my audience need to know based on previous content topics I've posted on this channel or on my blog, based on emails, DMs, or things that I'm getting from my audience, burning questions that they're asking about other things. And since I created this channel with a community focus, because ironically enough, I read Pat Flynn's book, like 1,000 True Fans or whatever, right before I started this YouTube channel. So I created this YouTube channel with that in mind. Always asking you, what do you want to learn? What can I share with you? What do I have in my brain that you need? So by doing that, each week when I sit down, I think through all of those things. I look at my customer journey. I look at how I can connect people to my offers. And from that comes content. And even better yet, comes content that helps me sell on the go. Meaning, I'm not having to show up consistently on social media in order to sell my products and my offers. Now, to break a content strategy even further down for you, these are the essential parts of a content strategy. And if you were to Google what is a content strategy, these things are going to be in the majority of the really boring, dry blog posts you're going to find. Number one is the objective of the content. We talked about that. Start at the end, work your way back to the beginning. Number 2 is the creation, measurement, and maintenance of that content. Number 3 is the format and channel on which you are going to place the content. So the format being, it's going to be a video. The format is going to be, it's a how-to video. So maybe there's a screen share, maybe it's a talking head. And then the channel that you posted on, not necessarily meaning like a YouTube channel, but like it's going to go on my blog or it's going to go on my YouTube channel. Number 4 is your customer journey and the customer personas that fit into that customer journey. So for me, for example, I have Pinterest VAs. They have a different customer journey than e-commerce product sellers who are watching these videos. And those people are even more different than the content creators that are probably just selling coaching services or digital products like what I do. So there's customer journeys for all 3 of those personas. And number 5 is my brand promise. Your brand promise. What is your brand promise to do for people? What is that? Mine is to help you to get more traffic and sales by using Pinterest and content strategy. So back to the power of an evergreen content strategy, like this right here. It allows me to create content, place it on the internet, in the places where people are going to be looking for it, using the keywords that people are looking for, identifying the pain point of those community members, their audience members to start for me, and then bringing them through the customer journey further down the funnel so they can then find and buy my products. Now, all of this happens on Evergreen, and while it's not passive, because nothing is truly ever passive, do not get me on that soapbox, I do have the ability to step away from social media marketing. I don't have to show up on stories. I don't have to have a pretty Instagram feed. I can look like Adam Sandler, okay? Look, I'm wearing Christmas pajamas underneath this desk, okay? I don't need to be all dolled up and pretty and perfect showing up on social media because my content is doing the work for me behind the scenes. I think it through, I follow the strategy, I create the content once, like this YouTube video right now, and then I post it on the internet for other people to watch on their own time. I mentioned at the top of the video, this is why I always advocate for long form content, because long form content in the form of video and blogs helps to build trust. It helps to build that know, like, trust factor. Know, like, trust. People get to know me through video. They like the content that they see. They then go to my website. They then get on my email list. They then are getting a feel for me, getting a feel for my vibe. And that builds trust over time. So I will always advocate for long form content. I don't care what business you are in, you need long form content in your business. While the content prompts and the promise of content calendars and done for you content on social media seems luring, unfortunately, it is not your content strategy and it is not going to help you do the thing that you really want to do because no one else knows your business and your audience and your customers like you do. Content planners are great, but they are not your content strategy. So if you were looking for more depth on content strategy, make sure to visit our content strategy playlist where you can learn all sorts of things like Google SEO, outlining your blog posts, and so much more.